Hey there guys, this is just a quick vlog in the morning. It is the day of my, it's 9:50 on the day, or 9:55 on the day of my gender appointment. My first gender care appointment with Dr. Lorimer, so it's just a gender therapy appointment where, you know, they ask me questions about it and then they can give me a recognition certificate and other stuff like that. Just packed my bag, so I have a portable charger because I probably need my phone in case I need to transfer any money or anything. I've got my wallet, so I have my cash. I've also brought, so what you need is I've got my I've got my deed poll for my name change. I've got my passport. I've got a proof of address just in case I need it. I've got a few other forms, like I got another form of ID. And also I brought my GP's address, details about my GP and details about my address. And I also bought, that was a loud heater that I left on. I also brought a sheet of questions that I have because I'm an idiot, and I mean it'll take ages now to get tea, but I forgot to book my endocrinologist appointment, but to be honest I may be able to get it on the NHS because my appointment should be up in April. So we'll see what's happening. Hopefully I can get that endocrinologist, you know, with Dr. Seal soon enough, but who knows what's going on. Anyway, I gotta go to the train. Bye.
Okay, so it is about a week after my appointment. I was meant to make a video much earlier, but I ended up being carried away with so many things. It is snowing outside, as you can see here in this video. There's a massive snowstorm just coming across the UK, and it's chaos because even though the UK, we always moan about being cold and rainy, we are not prepared for any level of snow. So everyone freaked out and no one's gone into college today or work today because we're all little pussies over in the UK. What? Oh, this does not look right. Oh my god, it literally goes inside of my shoe. Oh, that's too cold. Oh no, it doesn't. I am wearing glasses that make me look like I'm from the 80s, yes I know, and I have a little tuft of hair that didn't want to flatten when I was preparing myself for this video, but it'll just be my little unicorn horn that we can deal with. So, yeah, the appointment. Last week, it went really well. I'm just gonna start off with that. I'm not gonna add too much suspense trying to make it seem like it didn't go well, because it did. It went really well. I was really worried because if you saw in the beginning of the video, I was really worried that I hadn't done it. I hadn't booked an appointment with the endocrinologist. I was like, shit. I was like, what? I'm gonna have to wait like another 6 months, or I'm gonna have to wait on some other bloody long waiting list, and I was really not enjoying the idea of that. But I went along, and it took a while on the train. I got lost on the underground, but I finally made it to Marylebone. I don't know how to say it. Marylebone Station. I got off there and I walked my way over, and I managed to find it. It was very close to the station, and I walked in, and I saw, actually on the right, I saw there was a few people, that there was one person, and I think there was 2 people that were trans, FTM trans, and so I was like, oh okay, I'm in the right place. So I went and I sat down over, and I came an hour early because I'm a just in case kind of person. I bring everything that I probably don't need just in case I ever happen to need it. And because I'm such a just in case person, I sat down and I just waited and I waited. Oh my god, the storm is crazy. I sat down and I just waited, and eventually one of the trans people got seen by Dr. Lorimer, who's the guy I was waiting for, and then I think another one did, and then people started clearing out of the waiting room, and I was like the last one left. And so I was sitting in the waiting room alone, like no one else was there. It was just me in the waiting room, and I started to be like, is he ever gonna come see me? And it wasn't like he was late, I was just a bit worried. I thought they were closing or something. It finally came, it was about 3:10. My appointment was at 3 p.m, so really wasn't late. And then Dr. Lorimer came down and said, well, I guess, so I saw him and I got up and I shook his hand and everything. He was like, could you fill out this form? So I filled out the form with my general details. And he was like, you're the last person of the day, so we don't have to rush. I've got a few things to sort out, you know, and then you can come see me. So I waited, you know, another 10 minutes. Finally, we went upstairs and we just had like, I'm trying to remember everything that was said, but honestly, like when I got out, I didn't note it down or anything because I was too excited about it all. But we went up and he asked general questions like, he asked questions to do with generally like, what's your family like about this? Is there mental issues in the family? Is there, and I mentioned there are a few, I guess, in my family, but it's not, you know. He mentioned, how did you discover, like when did you know this was yourself? And I mentioned the point when I was watching that video, and I said that it was like when I knew that I was trans. I said that even though it was a gradual thing of discovery, that the 2 years of college I started becoming more and more masculine until finally I saw a video of a person transitioning and I was like, yeah, that's me. And that's the moment I knew that I was trans. And he asked things like, when you were a child, was there anything that made, any times that you felt especially dysphoric? And I was like, honestly, it's a bit more complicated than that. When I was a kid, I never really felt dysphoric because I felt like I was playing a role my entire life. I felt like I was in drag my entire life, and that's why I never really felt dysphoric, because I can like dresses and things, and a lot of people say that makes me less trans because I can like dresses and I like the idea of drag and I can dress up as a woman for silly skits and stuff like this, but it doesn't. And I told him about that. I said, when I was a kid, the only time I remember is when I used to play when you used to play families in the all-girls school. We used to play families and I would always play the dad or the brother and this and that. I never really wanted to play anyone other than that. And it was basically stuff like that. In my younger years, I didn't really realise that I was a girl until people were telling me that. I just used to run around shirtless and not bother until puberty sort of hit. And it was questions like that, and we were just speaking about my life and how my family are dealing with these things. And he was speaking about, do I bind? Have I got my name change? And I brought my name change document. So that was all sorted. And we went through things like, obviously he had to speak about certain mental health issues and self-harm and things, which I just bluntly said my answers. I don't feel like there was any point to, you know, not be blunt about it. I'm trying to think what else he asked me. Hello? Yeah, it's covered with snow. I'm filming a video. Again, every time you call me, I'm filming a video. I'll call you back, okay? I just need to film this video. Bye. Like my last video, my mum called me in the middle of a video. I'm like, Jesus. Anyway, I can't really remember other questions he asked me. He asked me about my medical health. Do I take any other prescriptions? And he also asked an interesting question, was a lot of people say to him and think that he should suggest that I shouldn't go with the transition because it should be something that I should just go against the, you know, binary roles and just be someone who can be as non-binary or as masculine as they want to be, and they don't have to go through a transition to prove that. And he said, what would you say to those people? And I said, there's no way that they can completely understand what it's like. They can have the information about being trans, like I'm sure Dr. Lorimer has, but there's no way that those people who say that I shouldn't go through that transition can understand what it's like to be trans, because to fully understand what it's like to be trans, you have to be trans, and those people won't understand that. And he said, well, how would you describe yourself? How would you, you know, I went, Well, it's the same as asking you or asking those people. If it was a man that came up to me and said, "Oh, why don't you just not go through with it? Why don't you just, not go through the transition? You can be trans and you don't have to worry about it." First, I'd really say to them, first you'd have to understand gender dysphoria to understand why I'd want to go through with this. And second, to understand gender dysphoria is the same as me asking you, what does it mean to be a man? In which someone may respond with a shallow answer of biological terms, like, oh, well, to be a man, I have this, I have my testes, I have my penis, I don't have boobs, I have the chromosomes that are my XY chromosomes, all this kind of stuff that they mention. I have testosterone, I have these hormones that are different. And then I'd say, no, what does it really feel to be a man? And they wouldn't be able to respond because they wouldn't know, because they felt that way their entire life. Well, I felt this way my entire life. I just didn't know that it was any different to what other women were feeling my entire life until later when I realised. And that's what I said to him in the response to that answer. And I think what he was asking there was, he was asking really me to describe my situation, which is sort of a hard one to describe because it's... Anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much. I want to tell you what went on, and we just had a general chat. It was so nice. Dr. Lorimer is great. I don't think there's much else to say, but what happened is we spoke and he just had to ask me a few questions like, do you think you're mentally sound enough to go through with this kind of, are you well enough for this kind of stuff? And he said, honestly, you are trans, which a lot of people worry about when they go to these private appointments, that someone's going to say, oh, you're not actually trans. But he was like, you are, just that's how you're feeling. And he was like, what do you want from us? What's the next step? And I was like, well, first, obviously, I want the letter from you, Dr. Lorimer, because the letter really helps with getting my gender marker changed on certain different things. And then obviously I want testosterone as a final goal. And he said, yeah, that's fine. We can get you on testosterone in about a month. And I was like, yes, that's so awesome. So yeah, we shook hands, and obviously he told me to go get a blood test sort of booked. And so we shook hands, and I went, and he was like, good luck on your second puberty. I was like, yes. And we went our separate ways. Literally just got out of the GP. It went so well. I'm so excited. I'll tell you all about it later. And so I just booked a blood test, which is the only hurdle that we had, and that's for 2 weeks. And the people at the doctors were a bit awkward about it. They said you had to be referred by someone. So I said Dr. Lorimer from GenderCare, and they said they haven't had an email from him yet. So I'm just trying to email him to make sure he will email my doctors so that I can have this blood test, and then I can get the results as quickly as possible, and I can give him the results as quickly as possible. And he says that he'll make sure that I can get, if my blood tests are all okay, fingers crossed, he'll make sure that I can get testosterone within well, a month, or maybe a month and a bit, or maybe before a month. I really don't know. So I'm just excited, and I've rambled on at you guys for this long. If you guys are still watching, thanks for sticking with me while I ramble on about this, but it's a big step in my life, and I have not long, I guess, left until I start, and I will no longer be pre-T. And that's exciting. I mean, it's scary because of the changes that are going to have to come along, but it's more exciting than it is scary, to be fair. Like, there's things that people worry about, like, for example, I really want to get my, like, eggs frozen and stuff like this before, so I'll have to do that, and you have to pay for that, which is, I mean, obviously I've got to pay another $220 for the endocrinologist, but yet again I'll work out what's going on there, and a few other things. But I don't know how much testosterone costs itself, but hopefully it's not too much. But yeah, it's just an exciting step. And yet again, thank you to everyone, to the 2 people that donated to my PayPal. And I mentioned them in a video before, and I yet again wanted to say thank you, because that was just something that really helped. I don't know if I could have gotten that last appointment without it. I mean, I could have tried and, you know, done a bunch of work, but at the end of the day, it was you guys that like really helped me. And so that's it. Wait, can I just, I was just filming a video, can I just, I'm just doing an outro. Can I call back? I'll call back in 5 seconds. Alright, bye Abs. It was just Abby. I must be popular. Anyway, that's all I really have to say in this video. I will make sure I do a video about the blood tests and put it in my transition timeline playlist. I want to do a video about actually maybe getting tea, or any of the emails I get back from Dr. Lorimer, any of the other emails when I get back my final email that sort of has a diagnosis of me, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot to come. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And thank you to everyone who's helped me through this, also the people who've donated money to me. Just thank you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to moi. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye. Wow.